sitting here in my own company, I have given myself permission to take a pause in my day. The way a car slows down when approaching a traffic light. Ideally, the brakes would be applied gently, gradually, to ease to a stop. Certainly a favorable experience for the driver and the passengers. This quiet time, I ease into a pause. Because within me, there is this large reserve, a reserve of peace, completely untapped. And I want to be able to access this reserve in a non-violent way. Means to slowly ease into my own quiet solitude. Is to be aware of where I am and how I am, how I feel. Acknowledge what I'm thinking about. Certainly it takes time, practice, to develop this capacity to ease into a gentle pause. But I will discover, if I continue to experiment, I will be able to do this more and more. I'm in a quiet space for myself, maybe just 3 square feet of land. But I have specifically and deliberately created this quiet time of being alone. I can take advantage of the music I can hear to create this quiet solitude. Allow the voice I hear to guide my thoughts. Be aware I'm in this space, aware of how I sit, just observing. Take a moment to observe. Take a moment to observe my own breathing. It's as if I brought my attention to something that always existed, It's just my attention was somewhere else. And just watching the breath. Helps me be more present in this space. There is a constancy in the gentle music that I hear. The music, this quiet time, all are supports to develop an inner capacity that I have always had, but I just do not use often. Not enough. But I have this capacity. And this constancy of this music creates a feeling of this warmth, a golden glow of calm, of safety in my own company. That's why many enjoy sitting in front of sunset or sunrise. I can even bring that image in my mind of an experience like that. What I'm doing is not trying to draw from anything on the outside, but using it as leverage, using it as a support until I can build my own capacity. That feeling from that warm, gentle sunlight emerges within me a feeling of calm, of peace. Hold that feeling. Hold it like as if it's the only sacred thing in my day right now. Maybe I need to keep that image in my mind. Maybe I need this music at this moment. But let me focus in that feeling. This feeling that I feel has always been within me. For so long, I have associated any meaningful feelings within, associated them with things on the outside, whether from people, their approval, good outcomes, beautiful scenes in nature like the sunlight. But the quality of that experience actually comes from within me, drawn out by these different external things. But it resides in me, and I am learning to draw it out of me by will, gentle will, using supports I'm used to. It's completely okay. I hold this calm that I feel, treasure and cherish this feeling, and the mind can go in different directions. Please let it go where it needs. But it's the feeling I want to hold. Thoughts and feelings are actually two different capacities. I can have these thoughts and still hold this feeling that I have emerged created. The support of the music, that image in my mind of that sunset, that sunlight. Hold that feeling as if I have a sweet in my mouth. How we savor that sweet in our mouth. We can savor this feeling. This feeling I feel is not just a thought in the mind or something I imagined. I have this feeling in me because it's my true nature. I seek for those experiences of peace, stability, calm. I take time, however I do in my life, to try to pause so I can just be. Whatever that looks like in my life, I know I've had those moments. I just want to be. Just don't want to think about anything. Don't want to have to worry about anything, tend to any responsibilities. I just want to be. Why? I long for that feeling when actually that feeling of calm is within me. I just want to be in that calm. And this calm that I feel is who I am. I am a being. I just want to be in this peace, in this safety that I have drawn out from within me. I am the being inside. I've always been the being on the inside. It's just through time, through years, through days. I've been living so much on the outside, finding gratification from all the things I do, in subtle ways, believing that the things I do, things out there, is a source of being able to be at peace. Losing access to a capacity and a reserve I already have inside. Creating now a reality and an attitude that I cannot feel peace, I cannot feel freedom unless I'm in a certain place. unless certain outcomes emerge, happen, unless I gain approval from certain individuals. When this experience of being at this moment, I'm feeling my own sense of self. It's not just my mind that feels this calm. Me, the one listening right now, me, the one sitting here. However I define myself, however I identify myself, I can have permission to hold this experience. This is what real well-being is. Being well. I have in me a well of peace, a well of understanding, a well of compassion, a well of inner strength, untapped. And when I get to feel what I feel now, it's not the music, it's not even the voice that guides my thoughts, it's actually not even the image of the sunlight I have emerged in my mind. All those things are just supports igniting what is already in me. It's like as if I am reclaiming what has already been mine. This is inner well-being, something that each of us needs to hold, protect, and cultivate in one's life, because everything around us is so uncertain, and yet we seek for stability all around us, knowing that things are unexpected in all situations. Inner well-being is like core strength is to the body. Inner well-being allows me the power to adapt to change, to adjust in situations, because I learn to define myself by who I am, the being inside. Not define myself by situations, by people. I hold this experience. Let myself stabilize in this stillness. Awareness is essential. I am consciousness itself. Whatever I think about, whatever I feel affects everything about my life. So I'm learning to redefine my sense of self based on this inner reserve that I have. Inner well-being with distinction. They use that phrase with distinction in terms of acknowledging, in terms of bringing to light, in terms of appreciation and accomplishment. I'm learning to really outline my sense of self. Inner well-being is increasingly needed as times continue to unfold with events changing and changing. I'm being asked to adapt constantly. Everyone knows that the only thing that seems constant is change. That's not a new conversation. But how do I respond to change? I need to access my inner reserve and be aware of this inner reserve is me, so that I can recognize I have authority to access this reserve at any time. Developing this deep independence. It's not difficult. It takes time, but not difficult. Certainly a lot of patience, but hopefully personal interest to benefit myself. I recharge. I cherish this state of being, just being me. Every drop of stillness, of calm I feel adds into my stock of inner reserve. And when I am ready to move to the next activity in the day, what I've just been experiencing this quiet time is actually a very active endeavor. Not visible, but very active, very purposeful. There's a point to all of this. So being ready for when I rise from my chair, take that first step. Let me watch my thoughts, watch and observe my surroundings and hold this feeling even if it's just one more second's worth. And thank you for coming. A warm reminder, our next session is the first Tuesday in May, which is May 5th, our early morning session, 7:15 to 7:40. And as usual, we try to start streaming at about 15 minutes before the session. It gives individuals time to come and perhaps maybe enjoy that quiet time. Take care.